Good morning, guys. So I tried this video a second ago, and the more I talk, the more I cough. So I was going to tell you about everything going on. I'm going to try to keep making videos today. I have a haul video I want to make. This is a shipping video. I just have 6 things going out, which is still okay considering how much I've been working. I've just been sick and trying to get my work done, but the other thing hindering me is my the drafts disappearing. There are a lot of people who I know who never complain or make up stories on eBay who are saying that their drafts are disappearing, their scheduled are disappearing. So it makes it hard to schedule out my listings when I'm traveling if you're afraid that you're doing that work and then it's not going to pay off. So I've got 6 things going out, and then today I'm going to try to list 50. I'm going to use my VA for some of the help, and then I'm going to do the rest myself, and then tomorrow I'll do it myself. I don't know if I can go to church with this kind of congestion. I had to wear a mask all day yesterday, and I did fine. I went to the hairdresser because I had already booked that appointment, and I didn't want to disappoint her. So I coughed a few times. I had 2 masks on. I can't wear the kind of papery masks because the fibers make me cough, even if I'm not sick. So I had a cloth mask and then another paper one on top. And I coughed just a few times while, and this is with all the hair stuff and the scented stuff and all the things in a hairdresser's place. And I can't smell them, but I could tell they were there. And then I went to Walmart. I think I coughed a few times while I was in there. Yeah, actually I did. I really coughed a lot when I was in there. And then I went to the Goodwill to do my job and shop for 2 hours. And I just hacked and it was just embarrassing. Even with 2 masks on, people are like, what is going on? And I mean, it was like the real, gross kind of cough. So I don't think I can go anywhere else. I thought I was feeling better. I didn't cough in the car the whole time I was going to these places. I thought I was on the mend. I thought I could be out in public with 2 masks on, and it's just too gross for other people. So I think I'm going to stay home all weekend, and I'll just get a lot of listing done, and I just don't think I have a choice. Oh, now I'm dripping water everywhere. But yeah, so what I was trying to say before is that I know it's strange and it's hard to believe, but I haven't even laid in bed in 6 days for more than like a couple hours at a time. Now, last night I finally stayed in bed for the full like 7 or 8 hours, and I feel like I slept a lot of that. I was up a lot because of the volume of hydration I'm doing to try to get over this. So obviously I was up in the middle of the night, but I would go back to bed and I would fall right back asleep just like I normally would. And I woke up, coughing several times, but I actually had a normal, fairly normal night's sleep last night. But for the 6 days before this, I just wouldn't even know how to medically explain it that I wasn't even laying in bed for 6 days. I was up because I was so vived up. I wasn't taking any medicines of any kind. I wasn't on NyQuil or Benadryl or anything that would normally kind of maybe vibe you up. And that's the only way I know for a fact that I did not have hardly any sleep for 6 days is because I wasn't in bed to do it. I was up just 24/7. It's a very strange feeling when you're a nurse and you know that should not be medically possible. And then here you are, you not only are up for 5 or 6 days, but you feel good. I mean, good as in like, you feel rested, like you feel like you could not go to sleep if you wanted to. And I didn't feel good. I've spent 8 hours a day just trying to take care of myself. Kleenex, hydration, extra showers. I took about 4 showers a day, trying to, because the steam is what gets a lot of this out. And so I tried everything natural that I know of. I never had a fever, but that is the strangest part of whatever I've had. And I was talking to my son yesterday because I met him at the Goodwill. And he said that like 6 months ago that he had a really bad cold, and that was the one thing that he remembers is that it was strange to him that he felt so good otherwise. So I think part of it is you psych yourself out. I mean, this week I should have had like 2,000 listings done, because if you're up 24 hours and not sleeping and you actually have some energy, you should be just like power typing. But I I didn't know that, so I didn't have enough stuff on hand, first of all. And secondly, I kept predicting that I was going to be exhausted or that I was going to be tired or that I was going to go back to bed. So I kept wasting time. Now looking back, I kept wasting time trying to go to bed. So I'd try to go to bed. I'd lay there. If I was lucky on that certain night, I'd kind of doze and then literally 20 minutes later be wide awake up and realize that there was no sleep coming. And so, I mean, obviously, I wish I could recreate that without drugs. I wish I could, recreate this last week without the cold and without the, the cough. I wish I could recreate just feeling like I don't need sleep. I have no explanation. I'll have to research it sometime. But anyway, it didn't really make me be any more productive because so much of my day was spent, blowing your nose and gross stuff like that. So, and hydration and things. So anyway, I've got 6 orders going out. I need to hurry. My husband's going to go to the post office for me. Our post office on Saturday mornings is open for 1 hour. 1 hour. So, and I don't mind getting up. I normally, when I'm well, even without an alarm, I'm normally up by 6 at the very latest. Sometimes 5, depending on when I go to bed. And so I don't mind that it's only 1 hour. It just makes it tough. Like Monday, the mail is closed for Martin Luther King Day on the 16th. And so it would be nice if like later today I could go a second time and take some mail. And then it just makes Tuesday not quite so horrible. And a lot of times I travel on Monday and Tuesday because that's my husband's day off. I don't think I'll be well enough by Monday, and I am stocked up. I'm going to do a haul video in a couple hours here and show you what I got. I just went to one Goodwill. My son met me in there, so I wasn't quite as embarrassed that I was like hacking like crazy. He was in there at least with me. So, but we found some good stuff, I think, in the short time that I was in there. And anyway, let's get started on the shipping. Okay, this, I don't think I pulled the right thing on this. I don't remember this being what I may have to just tell you on this one. This does not look like the right thing that's sold. Let me go. Maybe it is. I am selling a lot of older stuff. 20, what would I have pulled here? Oh, no, it is. Okay. All right, this is a red Sheila Raymond sweater. It's wool and Angora, and it's textured. It has this as detail, so I'm not going to take it all the way out, but it has a really nice like raised kind of. I mean, I guess you call it like a fur because it is Angora, so it is a fur. And I have had this for a while because it's 2810. And I'm on the 4000s now. Sorry, this is all stuck together. All right, let me see if I can even use this same package. So they did not use promoted or a coupon, even though I have it available on my listings. I think I had thought I would get more in the end because that same furry part is all up here, and I thought it was really pretty. Anyway, I got $18.25 plus shipping, so I got a total of $28.21 on this sweater. All right, I'm going to need some tape on that. I am just so happy to be feeling better, but now I feel like I kept up kind of on my listing goal. Now, I'd have to go back and calculate because some days I did 50, some days I did 0 or 2 or something. So I feel like, my sales stayed steady enough to pay my bills at least. I didn't see some big dip from being sick. But all the other stuff, just like the paperwork, my mileage is not done, tax time's coming up, and, just those, if you keep up an hour a week, you're good. And I'm way behind now. But that's okay. I'm blessed to be well, getting well, blessed to be getting well, trying to be thankful. So yeah, I have a mini haul. I think I spent, what did I spend? Was it like $70 yesterday at the Goodwill? I'll have to look. I've got to find all my receipts, and because it was a quick trip, I think it helped me to get up and around. I mean, I'd been kind of up and around all week anyway. It's not like I had been in bed and then went on this trip. I just think, I don't know, it got me out in the fresh air more. Well, this is not responding. Here we go. Guess my printer's not technically on. So yeah, I feel like it was good for me to get out and about. Sorry, I'm waiting on my printer here, guys. And there it goes. I didn't realize I had shut it off somehow. So yeah, oh, I was like, what did we watch? My husband and I watched that documentary last night on Pelé. He's the Brazilian, they would call it football player, soccer, but football. And it was I got to reprint this one. I'm getting the squiggly lines again. It was a very good documentary. It's just on Netflix. So if you need something to watch after your work is done, or if you can, I work and I can watch things, unless it's something really intense where there's a ton of characters and I can't follow. That's why if I do watch anything in my office, it's like, a documentary. Now, most of the time, what I do in my office is I listen to haul videos or I listen to bolo videos because I'm always trying to improve my, my shopping skills. Or I listen to some long form podcast or something. But even if I'm listening to something educational, I find myself wanting to take notes. Like if it's really something that I'm interested in and they're telling me stuff I don't know, then I feel like, making notes, and that interrupts my work. So I try to just listen to basic documentaries if I am down here. I've got a couple mysteries on my phone that I'm in the middle of. And so that's good. Okay, so let me put this here. Sorry guys, this is the most unorganized video ever. Okay. This was my son's, our consignment that we do together. I think he had found this at the Goodwill. It's called a Liege. Let me see what this is. So I got to print that off for him. It's a Mary Kay perfume sample. They are new and sealed. And they're the little tiny sample sizes. And we had, I don't know how many of them in here. There's the picture, but they used promoted listings. They did not use any coupon. And we've had these a while. I think he had hoped, or we had hoped, that we would get like 40 to 50 on this set. But I think because they were smaller sizes, we got 27 plus shipping, so 37.12. And I'm going to send this ORMD. I don't know if I have to anymore. I'm not sure what the rule is. I hear it going back and forth. I think I took some perfume that was new and sealed to the post office and asked them, does this matter? And I thought they said no. And so then I was really confused. I thought that with camera batteries too, that you had to ship them parcel post, but I took it down to my local post office, and believe me, they know their rules, and they said no, as long as it's in the camera, it's different. So I just try to always be on the right side of the rules so that my things don't get returned. Let me make sure these two print. So this is how I do consignment. If I have a consignment customer, and I do at different times, I just print off 2 copies of the order detail. And that shows all of the fees and everything else. Now, it's better to go back and do this after the shipping has come out, because now eBay will put the shipping label right here and then the total. But I'm, doing shipping videos first of all. Plus, I really am trying to beat the mail. So I'll just go back in, and when I do the, doing consignment, I wouldn't do it for anybody else probably full time except my son, because he picks good stuff, first of all. Like, it's not unusual for me to get half of $100 sale all the time. So for me, it's worth it. If it were just a bunch of $10 items, it would be too tedious. But what I do is we have the spreadsheet, which is a joint Google Doc. and he puts the description in there, then my VA can quickly just go, grab that. I don't even have to do anything, unless I feel like he made some mistake on looking stuff up, which, believe me, he very rarely does. He's full-time Amazon, and he's very detailed, but just in case, there'll be some times where I'm like, I don't think we better sell this on eBay, but that's pretty rare. I think he gave me a couple little tiny toy guns. They were like this big. They're like to a turtle, to a Ninja Turtle. But they were big enough and they looked enough like a gun, and they didn't have the orange cap. So I said, I don't think we can do it. They might have been bigger than that. But, so that's like the only time where I'm like, on eBay, I did the research. If you, or not even on eBay, on Facebook, everywhere. If you have any kind of a gun, even if it's like orange with stripes, if it doesn't have that cap that's the other part too that I didn't realize, just for knowledge for everybody, if you're gonna sell a toy gun, the cap can't be removable, so it has to be a part of the gun, that end cap, and it has to be like a bright red or a bright orange, and it has to be like originally issued with that gun. So that's technically the rule. I see other people not doing it, and that's fine. That's on them. And I don't see eBay necessarily taking them down, but it is a gray area, and I just don't want to be the one where some kid gets shot because he bought my little toy thing on eBay or something, and I know it's excessive, but I just my eBay account, especially now that I'm full time and I am ramping up. I mean, my eBay account in the end, by the time I retire, is literally worth millions. And, it's not worth it. It's just not worth it to me. My eBay account is just too valuable for the income that I should be able to generate in the future. So my husband and I, technically speaking, we really can't retire ever. We just, with our son being sick for those 10 years and everything that happened with that, our medical bills and our travel expenses to do all of that were too much. So technically speaking, I guess I don't know 100% how I would feel if I were in a financial position to just retire and not have to work later in life. But I just know my husband and and I don't feel like I'm 20, and I don't want to ever be 20 again, but I do feel like I'm like 35, energy wise and like goals wise, I feel like I'm still very young, and I am 53. I'm not young. And so I think it's just our personality. We do a lot of travel already. We've already been blessed to go to a lot of countries in our life early on in our life. Not even together. I traveled as an exchange student to Norway when I was young, and I went to like 11 different countries then. And then my husband he has dual citizenship from Canada, so we spent a lot of time in Canada. And his grandma lived literally 2 blocks from Niagara Falls. She owned a house there. And so I just wish I would have appreciated this when I was, 19 years old and married to my husband. I guess I just took it for granted. But yeah, we would go to Canada, and of course they would give us money when we got there. It was his grandma, so we didn't even pay for the trip. We were younger, and they just basically paid for everything. They were pretty wealthy by then. They were older and pretty wealthy, so they'd just hand us a couple $1,000, and we'd go down there and just walk up to the falls, and I've seen it on, I believe it was 4th of July. It was some holiday where they do all the not the fireworks, the colors. They do all the colors on the falls. And so, I've been very, very blessed in my life to have seen a lot of stuff. And so now we're just, and I went to Australia 2 or 3 years ago because my brother lives there. So, and paid cash, by the way, I should say that, paid cash for the trip. So we don't feel like, like we've worked an 8 to 5 job and been burdened by our jobs, and now we just need to retire and get out. We don't really feel that way. I mean, there's things I would like to see still. I'd like to go to Israel. There's a lot of things I'd like to see. But I feel like, we're just not going to retire. And I see people on other groups, on this group I'm on, there's people in their 70s and they just now finally got out of the job they hate and now they're just starting and they love it and they're doing well. So I feel very blessed. I feel like I will work at least 20 more years on eBay. Um, and yeah, so that's my thing. Now this Pendleton is a really beautiful Shetland wool sweater. It's the grandpa cardigan with the two pockets on the hip. And I must have been, I don't know, starting to get sick when I was at the bins, or I do not know. I was out of it because I promise you, I mean, wool, everybody knows wool can have moth holes. But I was in a hurry. I mean, I was looking up stuff fast and trying to get out of there. Um, and I brought this thing home and it had so many moth holes. I just can't even tell you. It had at least like 6 moth holes. And I think the tag just looked new and vibrant. And then I looked it over quickly. And usually I hold it up to the light at the bins and I know how to do all that. But anyway, I got it home. And I mean, anyone who was even trying to look for holes should have found this. But I listed it anyway with holes on the title, like in big letters. And I still got 16 and it's 2703 total. And so for a bins find, it's actually, I guess it is going priority. So it has to be, it had to have cost me at least $2 because the bins are $1.89 a pound. But yeah, I don't know how I missed it. I think I would have gotten it anyway. It's such a quality sweater and people want the grandpa sweaters. So I don't think it would have mattered to me, but I just can't believe that I came home thinking, wow, this is going to be a $60 sweater, and then I had missed all those holes. I mean, one hole is one thing. I don't think people mind like one hole under the arm on a sweater like this, but I don't know what I was doing. I always decide, you know, is this a quality enough brand to sell with holes? And this one, if it had been just a normal Pendleton, I still don't know, but because of the grandpa sweater style, I think it was. And that sold within like a couple of days. So I do believe that if it had been, I mean, it would have been a real big bolo if, or a real good find if it didn't have all the holes. I mean, I might have even gotten more than 60. I don't know. Let me make sure I'm still on here. I always feel like maybe I'm talking to myself, like because I don't have the camera window in, so, because I'm obviously doing the shipping, so I always wonder, what if it stopped and I'm sitting here talking to myself? So yeah, so what I was saying about retirement, I mean, my husband and I just feel blessed. We've seen a decent amount of the country. I've never been to Vermont, and I've seen the leaves turn in Michigan. Like I've seen all the colors that Michigan has, because my grandma lived in Michigan until she was 92. Then she passed away during COVID. But so I went to Michigan a lot, more in the summers, and you know, into Ohio, and I've seen all that part. I've been to West Virginia a lot. So I don't feel deprived. The only thing I really hope to be able to do is to go back to Norway, where I was an exchange student. Now, my host families, the children, I'm still on Facebook with, some of my host sisters and brothers, and I'm doing Duolingo just to practice my Norwegian, just for something like to work my mind. Not that eBay doesn't, believe me, it does, but that's kind of my only, I guess, dream trip that I still hope to do someday, is to go back to Norway. But yeah, other than that, I think we're just really happy. We normally go camping a lot. I mean, COVID didn't help that in the campgrounds, and you know, and we've just had a lot of stuff. But yeah, we're just happy going through Colorado. There's so many places in Colorado. I've never been to Mesa Verde. Look that up. That's like caves. And then of all the things, I'll tell you. There's these, when we went to Australia, we had booked a trip to go on, you leave the Gold Coast. We went to the Gold Coast too. My brother took us there. And you can get like a little ferry, and it takes you out to these caves on an island. And there's only 2 places in the whole world that have these glowworms. This is embarrassing that my whole life is like, I want to see these worms. But anyway, they glow. They don't, they're in the cave, but they glow in the dark, but they have all these colors. So look up the glowworms. So the two places in the world are off of this Gold Coast in Australia and then in Alabama. And so I cried when, I mean, part of it is, it was just my first big trip after my son had passed away and stuff. So I was already really emotional, but, I cried when they canceled that trip because the waves were too big. Like, so I'm kind of embarrassed that it meant so much to me, but it was something really interesting, something kind of scientific that I'd wanted to see. And so we never got to go. We just couldn't extend our trip out longer. And so now I just want to go see it in Alabama at least, and I just haven't done that. So that's kind of on my list of to-dos of all the weird things on earth that you would care about. This is really pretty. I thought I would get more for this. This is a vintage baby christening coat. It's Edwardian Victorian caped cloak made in Chicago. It is from the 1900s. It is no joke. I did all the research. I had friends help me who know their materials, to make sure that it really was. It didn't have any major damage. It had some discoloring, but for something that's, over 100 years old, it's crazy. And I found this at a consignment place. They did not have it marked up. And I spent, I think, $10 of my consignment money on it. And I really thought, I might get 60 or 70 bucks for it at least. But I've tried everything. My photos are good. Everything's good. And I got $29.99 and 42 all shipped. Promoted listings was on it, but they did not use a coupon. It's kind of funny to me. I mean, I have a coupon, and those coupons not only flash when you go down on eBay, they're on the side that says, whatever percent off I have this week. I think it's like 28% off. But then when you go in the listing, it also says right there, 28% off. And I'm shocked how few of my customers actually end up using it. Sometimes I'll go in a whole trend and everybody's using my coupon and promoted listings and everything. And you're like, ugh, But I feel like my sales are so much faster with the promotions. That's just me. I do give away a higher percentage of my sales, but I do feel like sometimes things sell just so quick and because of the promoted. We are getting there. Sorry, who thinks that you make a 30-minute video for 6 items, but it's all right. It's kind of slow, especially when I'm printing off consignment customers things. Yeah, and my hairdresser, she gave me a bunch of Disney happy planner stuff. And I've sold a lot of it for her, and I was just seriously so sick this week. I could not get her consignment totals done, and she doesn't care. I mean, she knows I'm good for it. She's known me for years, but it's just, it's like that's one of the things that I would have done this week. I would have gone to get my hair done, given her consignment money, just all that stuff, and I just could not get myself to find, it's over here in my paperwork, and I'm cleaning my office, and all right. This is a Perry Ellis sweater, just a real basic sweater. Let me see if it's even, does it have some cashmere in it? No, it's bamboo cotton blend. And I just listed this week. I got it at the bins. It's new with tags, but it is Perry Ellis. It's not a super high-end brand. It's sold via promoted. And so it sold for $15 plus shipping. It's first class, $23.49. It was just a really pretty completely white sweater. I was going to actually just use it to give to the consignment store because I obviously paid about $1 for it. But then when I looked it up, because it's bamboo cotton, I figured I could get 15 bucks. So I went ahead and did that. All right, 10 ounces. Here we go. All right. Still 508. Whew, shipping's gone up. I charged $6.50, so this must be going closer to me. I didn't look. Yeah, so my husband, he's, kept up on all the housework all week, and And when I travel, you know, that's fine. He does that. And of course, it doesn't get that messy with just him and I. It's mostly like the dog and the cat and everything. We try to make sure that we keep the hair to a minimum and all that. But like this week, I didn't want him to like wash my, you know, not my pillows, but my pillowcases. I just didn't want him to touch anything. So I had to, you know, do that. And I just tried to keep from infecting him, but I just was, you know, I don't know. I just thought it was kind of a common cold at first, so I really wasn't that concerned because he had something kind of similar like a month ago, so I figured, you know, he's already kind of had this, but oof, I'm really praying that he doesn't get this version of it. I hope that that was the same strain, that's for sure, because, man. All right, let's see. I have another sale, but they didn't pay yet. Okay, this one. Oh, where'd it go? Oh, it must still be in there. Okay, I thought it was in this box here. But anyway, I sold a pair of DPSC pants. Those are sailor pants. And these are vintage sailor pants, navy pants. They have the 13 buttons in the front, and then they lace up in the back. They're in pretty good condition. They've been hemmed, so like when you look underneath, there's like this much that someone could extend them. But I sold those really quickly for $39, and then they did use my 28% off coupon. They did not use promoted listings, even though I think I put it on there. So I got $37.83 all shipped. And I'm going to go pull that in a minute. Let me see. Oh, I got messages. Hopefully it's not someone saying they want to cancel. I tried to do my messages before. Oh no, this is about some sweatpants. Let me look here real quick like. Are these North Face pants black or gray? I said they're black. Okay, I will reply. Let me see. I'm going to reply with an offer because I just think that's smart. Let me see here. You know, sometimes when you're trying to take up-close photos, it looks lighter. But I guess people, you know, people just don't know that. I don't know. These are definitely black, but when I'm taking up-close photos to show detail, they can appear gray. Hope this helps. Thanks. Okay. All right, guys, well, I'm going to let you go on this video. I will be back with a haul video in just a few minutes. I need to go pull those sailor pants. I thought they were here in this box I'm working on because I knew I just listed them, but I guess they're the very last number that I put out in the garage. So I'm going to go out there, but I will see you back in a few minutes, and thank you for hanging in there. Have a good day, guys. Bye-bye.